Some cars feel powerful. Some feel fast. The Mazda RX-7 FD feels alive in a way that no other sports car does. From the very first moment behind the wheel, you realize this car plays by different rules. Not because it tries to impress you, but because it speaks a different mechanical language. The RX-7 was built around one idea: lightness. Everything about the car revolves around reducing mass and increasing responsiveness. When you sit inside, the cabin feels compact, focused, almost minimal. You are not surrounded by excess. You are placed at the center of the experience. The rotary engine defines everything. Unlike piston engines, it doesn't move with explosions and pauses. It spins, smooth, continuous, and eager. That rotation creates a sensation that feels more like momentum than force. The engine doesn't push you forward. It pulls you into motion. This is why the RX-7 feels so different at speed. Acceleration is not aggressive. It's fluid. The car builds speed without drama, and that smoothness tricks your senses. You don't realize how fast you're going until you are already there. Steering feel amplifies this sensation. The RX-7 is incredibly light at the front. Turn-in is immediate. The car responds instantly to small inputs. There is no hesitation, no resistance. The front end simply goes where you point it. Because the car is so balanced, weight transfer feels natural. You sense the chassis moving beneath you, but never fighting you. Everything feels synchronized. Engine, steering, suspension, and driver operate as one system. Modern performance cars often isolate drivers with grip and power. The RX-7 does the opposite. It invites you in. It asks for attention. And when you give it that attention, the reward is a driving experience that feels organic and unforgettable. This is not a car you dominate. It is a car you collaborate with. And that collaboration is what makes the RX-7 feel alive.
What truly separates the Mazda RX-7 FD from almost every other sports car is the way its engine changes the perception of speed. The rotary engine does not deliver power in pulses. There are no heavy pistons stopping and starting. Instead, the engine spins freely, creating a sensation of constant motion. This smoothness removes the typical cues drivers rely on to judge speed. Because there are no strong vibrations or sudden surges, acceleration feels deceptively calm. The car gathers speed quietly, almost politely. This is where the RX-7 becomes dangerous in the best possible way. You feel relaxed, even composed, while the car is moving much faster than your senses suggest. This sensation deeply affects driver behavior. You become smoother. Inputs become more precise. You stop overcorrecting. The RX-7 rewards finesse, not aggression. When driven smoothly, it feels effortless. When driven harshly, it loses its rhythm. This teaches the driver discipline. Turbocharging adds another layer to this experience. Unlike large turbo engines that hit hard and suddenly, the RX-7's turbo system builds pressure in a controlled way. Boost comes in progressively, blending seamlessly with the rotary's natural smoothness. The result is acceleration that feels elastic rather than explosive. Sound reinforces this illusion. The rotary does not roar like a V8 or growl like an inline-6. It sings. The pitch rises cleanly as revs increase, creating a high-frequency sound that feels mechanical and precise. This sound does not intimidate. It hypnotizes. The gearbox plays a crucial role as well. Gear changes feel light and quick. The clutch is responsive, encouraging frequent interaction. Shifting becomes enjoyable rather than necessary. This keeps the driver engaged even at moderate speeds. Another key factor is the RX-7's low rotational mass. The engine revs quickly and drops revs just as fast. Throttle response feels immediate, almost telepathic. Small throttle inputs produce instant results, making the car feel alert and eager. This responsiveness creates a strong sense of connection. The car feels alive because it reacts instantly to your decisions. There is no delay, no interpretation, no filtering. You think, the car moves. Modern performance cars often use power to create excitement. The RX-7 uses responsiveness. That difference changes everything. Instead of overwhelming you, it invites you to participate fully in the driving process. This is why the RX-7 doesn't feel fast in a traditional sense. It feels fluid, responsive, and alive. And that sensation stays with you long after the drive ends.
The chassis balance of the Mazda RX-7 FD is one of the most important reasons it feels so alive. Unlike many sports cars that rely on power to dominate the road, the RX-7 relies on balance to cooperate with it. The engine sits low and far back, creating near-perfect weight distribution. This single choice defines how the car behaves in every situation. When you turn into a corner, the RX-7 does not resist. It rotates naturally, almost eagerly. There is no sense of mass fighting against direction changes. Instead, the car pivots around the driver, making you feel like the center of gravity. This sensation is rare and deeply addictive. Steering feel plays a crucial role in this experience. The RX-7 steering is light, but incredibly precise. It does not numb the road. You feel surface changes, grip levels, and tire load through your hands. The wheel doesn't overwhelm you with feedback, but it never leaves you guessing. Every movement communicates intent. Because the front end is so light, turn-in is immediate. The car reacts to even small steering inputs. This sharpness encourages precision. Sloppy driving is exposed instantly. Smooth driving is rewarded with flow. The RX-7 teaches the driver to be better through feedback, not correction. Mid-corner balance is where the car truly shines. The RX-7 remains neutral, even when pushed. It does not understeer aggressively, nor does it snap into oversteer without warning. Instead, it transitions smoothly, giving the driver time to react and adjust. This predictability builds trust. Suspension tuning enhances this behavior. The RX-7 is firm enough to feel sporty, but compliant enough to stay connected to the road. You feel bumps and imperfections, but they never disrupt the car's rhythm. The suspension works with the chassis rather than trying to dominate it. Braking performance adds another layer of confidence. Pedal feel is linear and communicative. You can modulate braking force precisely, which is essential in a car that encourages momentum driving. The RX-7 does not rely on brute stopping power alone. It relies on control. Modern performance cars often isolate drivers to increase comfort and safety. The RX-7 takes the opposite approach. It exposes the process. You feel everything, and that transparency creates involvement. This is why driving the RX-7 feels like a conversation rather than a command. The car speaks constantly. The driver listens, responds, and learns. That dialogue is what makes the RX-7 feel alive in a way few cars ever have.
What ultimately makes the Mazda RX-7 FD impossible to replace is not just the rotary engine, but the philosophy behind it. The car was never designed to dominate through numbers. It was designed to create harmony between machine and driver. That harmony is something modern engineering rarely prioritizes. The rotary engine forces a different mindset. It does not reward short bursts of aggression. It rewards commitment, smoothness, and anticipation. You learn to carry speed rather than chase it. You stop relying on torque and start relying on balance. This fundamentally changes how you drive. Because the engine is compact and lightweight, it allows the entire car to behave differently. Weight sits lower, mass is centralized, responses feel immediate and clean. There is no excess inertia to manage. Everything feels light on its feet. This lightness affects not just performance, but emotion. The RX-7 never feels intimidating. Even when driven hard, it feels cooperative rather than hostile. The car invites you to explore its limits instead of warning you away from them. That invitation builds confidence and curiosity. Modern performance cars often feel impressive but distant. They deliver speed with layers of software, assistance, and correction. The RX-7 delivers sensation directly. There is no translation layer between driver input and vehicle response. What you do matters immediately. This immediacy is why the RX-7 leaves such a strong impression. Drivers remember how it made them feel, not how fast it was. The sensation of flow, of connection, of effortless motion stays with you long after the drive ends. The Rotary's sound plays a major role in this memory. Its high revving, smooth tone feels more like a mechanical instrument than an engine. It doesn't shout, it sings. That sound becomes part of the driving rhythm, reinforcing the sense of movement and momentum. The RX-7 FD represents a moment in automotive history when manufacturers were willing to take risks. Mazda chose a path that was different, complex, and unconventional. That decision created something unique, even if it came with compromises. Those compromises are part of the car's character. They remind you that this is not a generic solution. It is a deliberate one. The RX-7 does not try to please everyone. It focuses on those who value feel over figures. This is why the RX-7 will always matter, not because it was perfect, but because it was honest. Honest about what driving could be when emotion, balance, and responsiveness come first. That honesty is what makes the Mazda RX-7 FD feel alive, and that feeling cannot be replicated.